song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song, but then you start catching a vibe? I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, 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 gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know. Yeah, whoa. East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast gon' head stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. Crew love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm Wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick I'm queasy, whoa. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lower with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the
Hey ho, beaches. What up? What's up, Antonio? Anthony. Hey, yo, Tony. How you fucking doing? Yeah, guy.
Yeah. Watch me finesse. Walk to the lot. Good
What's
versus
up,
evil.
guy?
Got in his prime. Always
What's
in
up,
prime.
guy?
Always on time. Hard time to shine. Wifey is fine. I'm doing fine.
What
Glad
up,
that you
Labouches?
asked. God, fill me
Labouches
up.
and
All that
Labiches.
my
Ooh.
God, clean me up. All that I ask. Wherever you headed, you
Labouche
headed
and
fast.
Labiche.
I'm
Hashtag
ahead.
Boosh.
You are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas.
That
Gas in
Boosh
the whip.
life.
Whip it up fast.
Boosh.com,
I'm starting to spaz.
bitch.
Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack. Oh.
East Coast with the gang, gang. The gang, gang. Getting with the Swole gang. Papa Slowly, yo. Getting yoked, bro. Like a motherfucking asshole. Oh. Get that those Friday night gains. I'll tell you what, I've been on like video editing overload. I had to get some shit done. What up, Bart? Yep. Let's see, Anthony, Bill, Nicoleta. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Sick fucking games. Papa Swole.
This is that one
Getting
song that you heard
yoked
so many
like
times,
it ain't
and every time you
no
hear it, you're like, I'm not
Getting
gonna bump to this song.
yoked.
But then you start
Getting
catching a
swole.
vibe.
Making sick
sorry, not sorry.
fucking games.
Yeah.
Yep.
East Coast with the gang,
Gang.
West Coast with the gang,
Gang.
with the gang,
Gang.
we don't play gang.
Oh.
East Coast with the gang, West Coast with the gang,
Oh. Oh yeah. Yes. 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 Oh what? I said what? I said what? Yeah.
East Coast
Yeah.
with that gang, gang.
Yeah.
You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast gon' head stand up, put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. Crew love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm Wheezy, yeah. Rap game just
Alright, here
too
we go.
easy. Drip so
Are we
sick,
ready?
I'm
We got
queasy,
everyone
whoa.
in. Everyone's got their alerts. I think it's plenty of time for you to come on in for Daddy. Oh. Casey, what up, bro? Happy birthday. Everyone say happy 49th birthday, K-Money. K-Money. Happy birthday, bruh. Happy B-Day, bro. Happy birthday, Casey. Happy 8th podcast.
Watch me finesse, walk to the line.
I know.
Good versus evil.
I just started at number 1,000.
Boop. Wifey is fine. I'm doing fine. Glad that you asked. God fill me up.
Mud in my glass.
God clean me up. All that I ask. Wherever you headed the fast. I am ahead.
I never want to turn this song off. This song is fire. By the way, find King Darius. All those beats I play on YouTube and here. SoundCloud. Check them out.
Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack.
Alright, here we go, fam. Let's get ready for episode 1008. What up, bitch? Ba-boom. Making sick fucking gains. Sick gains every fucking day, bish.
The sun is shining.
The birds are chirping.
The bacon is sizzling.
Bacon sounds good.
Welcome
That sounds
to
good.
the Daily Swole.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Hey now. Testing. Testing, testicles. Ball sack. Testicles. Testicles. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 1008 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. Aha. We all flex our biceps. Thank you so much for joining me. What's going on? Happy Friday Eve. Welcome. We are live on Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, YouTube, and Zish Instagram. So what up, Instagram beaches? What up, beaches? What up? If you're a beesh, you're on Instagram. If you're a boosh, you're on Facebook. What up, beaches and booshes? Episode 1008. So the latest and the greatest, today's episode is about Feederism. If you don't know what that is, then you didn't watch my YouTube video and you're a normal human being. So we're going to talk about it, and it's pretty gross. It's pretty gross shit. So if you don't know what this is, if you have like little young ones around you, obviously all the podcasts are uncensored. I'm going to swear and say cunt, twat, bitch, cock, pussy, pee-pee. I'm going to say all the naughty words. So let's just get that out of the way. Earmuffs, and make sure that you pay attention, because it's so important that you know this information. If you don't get this information, how are you going to be a complete human being? How are you going to be a complete human if you don't have this? I have had way too much coffee today. Let's get this out of the way. I've had a lot of caffeine, significant amounts of caffeine today. And I have only had I had a couple clementines when I walked the dog. I really haven't eaten today. So I'm hungry, I'm caffeinated, and I've been pumping out just video content like crazy. I'm on like a huge content kick. So today's video. So anyway, if you're not yet subscribed, let me just be perfectly clear. You're missing out in a huge, massively huge way on YouTube if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel. A brand new drop today and a brand new drop tomorrow. I was going to drop it today, but I'm like, you know what? Friday evening, let me just save it and I'd rather give you two bumps rather than slam you and go right to the taint all on Friday. So you have a good one to get into on YouTube today if you haven't watched the latest, and tomorrow is going to be a really good one, and it's kind of like a sequel follow-up. It's a very trending topic, and that's a lot of people have been asking for a video on that subject on a person, and I did a video on that, so you'll get that tomorrow. Okay, you'll get that tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe, hit the bell on YouTube, that way you get notified when I do post a new video. Let's see some of these comments. What's going on? Eric, Scott, Amy, April White. What up? What up, beaches and booches? Vince, Osmani, got some mangoes for me? Nice. Too bad you live in South America, bro. You live at the freaking, literally the dick hole of Florida. If Florida's a penis, you live in the hole. You're all the way down there. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Corey, what up, Boosh? What's going on, Boosh? Hey, Boosh, what up, Beesh? King Darius is not in Apple Music. Well, that's because I just told you he's on SoundCloud, Mary. So downcloud the sound app. No, download the SoundCloud app. If you guys like the intro music and all the outro music and stuff by King Darius, go check him out on SoundCloud. Yeah, so do that. Let's see. Yo Dash, you're babbling just as much the time you worked out at 2 a.m. Ooh, oh, I remember that. That was like Black Hyper FX. I was like Black Pepper. Ooh, God, that stuff was fucking, yeah. If you are not subscribed, you'll never be swole. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, are you a complete human being? Are you a complete human being if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel? I don't think so. I think you can make the argument that you're not fully a full-blown human. So let's jump right into it. Today's episode, and again, inspired if you haven't yet checked out the YouTube video, it was about this woman. I don't know how much she weighs. She's enormous. And I'll Papa Swole. I'll give it to you straight. I'll tell you. And I'll tell fucking stories, and I'll lay that shit. I'll fucking lay it down the way I see it. And of course, this is an opinion. So before you get butthurt, before you get offended, before you get all, oh my God, how could you say that? You're so mean, Papa Swole. One, I don't give a fuck if it hurts your feelings. Number two, I am entertained as much as you are by my videos. If I make a video and it's super entertaining for you and you love it, like the DWG or any of these rage videos, I enjoy making them. I have a fucking ton of fun. So I'm so cool with it. I'm so okay with you not liking the video. It doesn't affect me at all. So I enjoy making them. And I like to voice my opinion just like most people on social media. And I like to think I have a good vantage point when it comes to opinions. And especially when I rage on things, I rage on things in such a way that it makes sense. I'm not just swearing and fucking yelling for no reason. I have a point. My delivery, albeit unique, is still delivering a point. And today's video that I posted on YouTube is about feederism. Oh, feederism. Feederism. What is that? What is that, Papa Swole? What could feederism be? Well, let's discuss what feederism is. First off, you know, probably if you haven't checked out all the latest, if you're completely living under a rock, you might not know that. Oh, let me do that first. Okay, let me do this first because yesterday, on Instagram, I said that someone was going to win that special. Remember, we're talking about deleting people. Okay, so I did. Someone did win, and I will DM you, James Pratt. So congratulations, James. You won the Delete the Jabroni contest, which I just named right now. It wasn't officially named, but you won, James. So I will be DMing you, and I'll let you know. And you went down from, you had like 300 or 400 subscribers, and you went down to under 50. So congratulations for deleting a ton of jabronis from your profile. Good stuff. So we'll be doing stuff like that again. I'll be doing some more giveaways and things like that. So just stay tuned, but congratulations. Round of applause for James for deleting jabronis from his Instagram page. Congratulations. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to yesterday's podcast and listen to it, and then go delete the jabronis. It's not the first time that we've talked about it. So a lot of people were saying, oh man, I just did this last week, or we did this before. I deleted all the jabronis. So a lot of you that have been here for a while for any of these 1,000+ episodes, you've already done this. You've already deleted jabronis. So you didn't really have the ability to delete a lot of people. You didn't have a lot of dead weight around. So go check that out. Yesterday's episode was fire, but we'll do more. I'll do more stuff. We'll do more giveaways. I promise we'll be doing a lot of stuff. Just make sure you plug in stuff on the Daily Swole and also on Instagram because it's really quick IG stories and also my posts. So congratulations, James. I'll hit you up. All right. So let's get back to it. Take another sip unnecessarily of more coffee. More coffee is never unnecessary. So let's just get that out of the way. Should I bring this up? Should I bring this up on the screen? Let me see if I can do that. Let me see if, am I still? Oh, there we go. Worked. All right. So here's a biche. This biche is, here we go. Let me just delete some of these. Okay. So those of you that are watching live, and you can't see this on Instagram, so we're going to talk about it. Those of you that are watching live on Facebook, if you're watching on YouTube, Daily Swole Podcast on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch, Periscope, you're seeing the screen. I'm in the corner. So this is a picture of a woman. It doesn't really matter what her name is. It's not the point, but the fat acceptance movement has gotten to a point where, let me come back to the main screen and we'll talk about it first. So the fat acceptance movement, if you're living under a rock, you might not be aware of all this social justice stuff going around and people really getting butthurt about every last thing. And just like the famous, the wonderful, and the late George Carlin, unfortunately, one of my probably my top 2 or 3 favorite comedians of all time, he famously said that political correctness is just fascism with better manners. And our language is very important. The language that we use, the words that we use to describe things is extremely important. So when we talk about things like body positivity, beauty, we talk about beauty, and we talk about fat acceptance. These are all things that are really vague and very subjective, okay? So when you have something that's subjective, let me be clear, just so we're on the same page, there's 2 different ways you can really categorize things if you're measuring things. You can have an objective measurement, and you can have a subjective measurement or, opinion, for example. So objective means like, I had 5 cups of coffee today. You had 1, okay? An objective, or that's an objective measurement. Objective measurement is, I like coffee a lot, or coffee tastes great. That's not really a measurement. That's subjective. It's an opinion. Let's just narrow it down. Subjective is an opinion. Subjective is an opinion. Objective is something measurable. So if you have a 38-inch waist, that's subjective. That's not an opinion. If you took a measuring tape and you went around your waist, okay, you have a 38-inch waist. If I call you fat, that's a vague word. That's subjective. I mean, if you define fat as having a 38-inch waist, apologies if anyone has a 38-inch waist or more, but if that is what we define it as, okay, then fat means 38 inches or more, or under 38 is not. It's, whatever. So it has to have a definition, but a lot of these things that we use, we throw around the word fat. Fat is usually used as an opinion. It's very subjective. You might think you're fat and only have a little bit of, extra around your stomach. You might call yourself fat and be morbidly obese. Okay. So we use language very casually. And the way I use language and the way I use the words, for example, like fat, is because they have impact. And just like I mentioned, George Carlin, you use the words that have impact. If you pussify words, then they don't mean anything anymore. And the symptoms and the actual problem becomes more and more diminished. So for example, that famous bit, and you can Google this, it's hysterical. Watch it on YouTube. I highly recommend any of his clips. And one of the best ways to watch stand-up comedy, you could watch a whole special, but on YouTube, it's great because you watch a clip like 7 minutes and then it jumps to another one. It goes pretty much like the playlist, just goes back and forth to different specials. So if you have a comedian that you like, you can just watch, it goes back and forth. And George Carlin's famous bit on PTSD, how it used to be shell shock and then it got pussified all the way down to like post-traumatic stress disorder or syndrome. That is a huge problem in terms of the resulting care that people get. When you pussify the words, when you pussify the condition, people are less likely to be impacted by it. And then people are less likely to get the help that they need. And we know that. We know our military doesn't get enough support. We know our veterans don't get the love and the care that they deserve. That's well established as a huge fucking problem. And the language has a lot to do with that. So when we call things like body positivity, you have these groups, these social justice groups that hijack these concepts. And body positivity is one of those. And you might have heard, so float some hearts and some gorillas or something, even though it's not a good thing. If you've heard of body positivity, if you've heard of fat acceptance before, have you heard these phrases before? Just drop in the comments, drop some emojis or some gorillas grunt or something, or be like, I have, if you've heard that term before. The way body positivity, I'm not going to look up the actual, what the hell? I can look up the definition. But body positivity, the way I see body positivity is, here we go. This is just on Wikipedia. Body positivity is a social movement rooted in the belief that all human beings should have a positive body image and be accepting of their own bodies as well as the bodies of others. That's a problem because the way body positivity should be utilized is for someone that, let's say you're an amputee. If you're missing fingers, you're missing a limb, you have some kind of deformity, I mean, that makes sense. You should still have confidence. You should still be a positive person. You should still love yourself. You're alive and you have what you were given and you need to make the best of it because what's the alternative, right? Just wither and die. You need to make the best of it. But this movement, and even on the picture, when I Google it, the body positivity, the outcome, here, I'll pull it up right there for you. If you look at the body positivity page, the pictures are people that are overweight. I don't consider that body positivity. I mean, you can love yourself. I'm not saying that you're a shitty person. And that's the way we relate these things too. So if I tell someone, if I say, oh, you're fat, people take it personally. Well, if you're overweight, you're overweight. If you're overweight, you're overweight. Now, when you call someone fat, oh, I have fat. I'm not fat. I have fat. Yeah, we all have fat and it's important. But if you are obese and you're overweight, that's not something they should be positive about. It should be something that is looked at as a health risk because it is. And the body positivity movement has been hijacked in order to give a blanket excuse, in order to cover all of these different ranges of lifestyles as an excuse mechanism, as if we need more excuses, as if we need more reasons to not be healthy in this country. We already have the Super Bowl. We already have a holiday once or twice a month in order for us to just binge and eat an excuse. We also have a weekend every week, right? We have Thursday night or Friday night or Saturday night. And then we have specials, discounts, deals every time. Like we have a routine of just pounding ourselves with garbage. So the body positivity and the fat acceptance movement is not a positive ironically so, it's not a positive move forward in our society. It's an excuse to not do anything about our health. It's an excuse to not get shit done. Can we agree? It can get used very, very ruthlessly, the opposite of the way it should be used. It should be used for people that actually need to focus on body positivity, not as an excuse to eat fucking more cake. All right. And again, this is my opinion, but I really also think it's a fucking fact. And the fact that it's a fact is also my opinion. So take it for what it is. But I know most of you, if not all of you, agree. That's why we're here. So this is an issue. And the fat acceptance movement, body positivity, it's all linked to all the whole social justice and all the pussification and all the problems that are coming from the extreme left and all that shit. Right. Okay. So that being said, I made a video today on YouTube that, is doing really well. It's getting out there, and I posted it everywhere because it's really important to understand there is a plague. There is a plague in this country when it comes to obesity, and the acceptance should not be allowed. That should almost be illegal to accept obesity as a positive thing. Now, I'm not saying to shun people. I'm not saying to look down on them. And I'm not saying if you're obese that you're a shitty fucking person. That's not what I'm saying. Everyone has their own genetics. Everyone has their own upbringing and things that they're working back from. Everyone makes mistakes. We learn, we get better. However, the pursuit of something better, healthier, like we are directly linking to, we can directly link obesity to illness, to metabolic disease. It's not, oh, well, you could be healthy at any size. No, you can't. You can't. Why? Because science. Read a fucking book. Type it into Google. It's not a healthy thing. And the extremes of this is coming out in weird ways. All right. And this concept of feederism, which I didn't even know existed, I did a video on it because it's fucking gross. This woman in particular was interviewed for whatever magazine or shit. And she eats over 10,000 calories a day on camera for her fans. You ready for this? So this is where it gets gross. If you really want to be grossed out, stay tuned. I know a lot of you like that shit. So, okay, here we go. She eats over 10,000 calories a day, on camera for her fans. For her fans. So she has people in her community that are promoting this, that are encouraging her to do this. So she has very, very low self-esteem and so forth. So I'm going to bring this up on the screen and I'm going to read it through. So those of you listening on the podcast and maybe don't use YouTube, this and the other. So this is going to be similar to the YouTube video, but we're just going to talk a lot more in depth about it because it's important. So this woman is from Southern California, and she says that she became engaged with the feederism fetish because of her boyfriend who had a kink. Fucking hate that word. I already hate that word. Who had a kink for watching women gain weight. So this is a woman who is obese already, low self-image and self-esteem, ended up unfortunately with someone who gets off watching women get fat. So it's a very, very sick thing already, because obesity, if we can agree that obesity, especially morbid obesity, is called morbid for a reason, you are at risk, high risk of imminent death. So your boyfriend likes to see you get more and more unhealthy. That's really fucked up. He obviously doesn't, this is one person directly, in her circle that obviously doesn't care about her well-being. That's terrible. So as it goes on, encouraged by her boyfriend, she sought out other outlets to share her overeating on. Okay. Let me highlight this. Here we go. I'm sorry. Having been trying all her life to lose weight in a bid to conform to her peers, they make it in a bid to conform to her peers. You mean be a healthy human being? Amanda realized that her partner's appreciation for her larger frame gave her a major self-esteem boost. No shit. You get attention, you're going to, I want more attention. That's why we have problems with social media. People are trying to do things and do everything to get likes, to get views, and so forth. I find myself personally fortunate that I'm doing it to get views and likes and support in this because I'm building a business and I'm helping people. So I don't create an identity over getting more likes or getting more views. But this is a problem when you're doing it just for like your personal ego and your personal thing. That's why I can kind of step in the shadows and be like, okay, it's for Swolenormous. It's not for me. I don't post anything personally. So I had this like mental separation between what I do for my business and what I do personally. And I don't like doing stuff personally. I don't care about putting stuff out there. I didn't use social media at all before I started this business. But when you do it personally, it's a huge problem because you attach your identity to whether or not you're getting likes, you're getting followers, you're getting support, you're getting feedback. You get that dopamine like little boost when you see someone that leaves a comment or a positive comment, especially for someone who already has a faulty sense of self and self-worth. Unfortunately, like I feel for her, but she's not helping herself and she's consciously killing herself and digging herself, in this hole. Amanda now makes the most of her cash via paid promotions on Instagram and Patreon, charging $10 for access to all her videos and photos, $20 for access to her Snapchat, and $50 for a FaceTime call. And this is a quote directly from her. Right. So quote, I get the tip. Let me actually blow this up a little bit. So people online, I'm sorry if you're watching. Oh, there we go. That's so much better for those of you that are watching live. Okay. Quote, I get the typical insults, fat cow, shamu, like the killer whale, or lard ass. I'm a very positive person, so I generally ignore it or leave a playful comment back. Body positivity is such a controversial topic, and no matter what I say, there will always be people with their swords drawn, ready to fight me on this. So I'll keep it simple. Everybody is beautiful. There shouldn't be any shame in celebrating that, from hairy legs to flat tummies and back rolls to saggy breasts. So her, along with all these other people and all these other people that are supporting this type of movement, are using that word beauty as a sword. They're using that as a weapon, because if I say I don't like them, well, you're saying I'm not beautiful. You're saying, no, I'm not. I mean, it's an opinion. Of course I could say you're not beautiful. It doesn't mean that you should have low self-worth. You can tell me that I'm ugly. People tell me, oh, your beard makes you look homeless. Okay, go fuck yourself. I don't think so. I don't care. Like, I know it. It doesn't bother me at my core. So to call you, if I don't think you're beautiful, that's an opinion. That's not an insult. That's my thought. That's my opinion. So when you call someone a troll, it's only an insult if you allow it. Sticks and stones, right? Words don't mean shit unless you internalize them and create some kind of internal emotion. Then you're making it real. So if you pay attention to that and someone calls you a whale, okay, ignore it. You have to be secure with yourself. And that's something that we should strive for rather than feed into this bullshit. No pun intended. Actually, pun intended. Feed into it. Get it? Get it? Get it? Feederism. Get it? All right. The quote continues, I was shy about feederism at first, but as time went on, it felt more like my calling. And slowly but surely, I fell in love with the community. So I'll pause her right there, and I did so in my YouTube video as well. You fell in love with the attention. She obviously fell in love with the attention and uses the community as a guise to be like, oh, I fell in love with the community. You fell in love with the positive feedback you get from people jerking off to you eating food. All right, this is where it gets kind of, it's it's nothing more gross than we ever talk about, but it's just like, it's just, how do people get off on this? It's just self-depreciation, people watching other people kill themselves. I equated this to a snuff film on YouTube. It's just literally you're watching someone kill themselves. Just they're not dying literally on camera. She could have a heart attack during one of these videos, technically. All right, let's continue. I fell in love with the community, ... I do stuffing videos. They're called stuffing videos. I do stuffing videos where I eat massive amounts of food. Funnel feeding videos where I funnel down liquids through a tube, and weight gain shake chug, where I down large amounts of liquid in a short period of time so my belly looks even more swollen. This is all as well as other fat fetish content, including fantasy talk or playing with my belly. If you don't want to throw up now, you're almost as strong as I am. I'm trying to hold it together. It's gross. It's gross. I don't know if it's gross. I don't know which is more gross, her doing it or people that want to watch her do this. It's really fucking disturbing. But it's important to understand, this is the reality. And this, of course, is an extreme case, but I use this as an example, and I was having this conversation with a friend of mine earlier. I got some new shorts. Okay. I got some new shorts recently, and they're just like athletic shorts. They're just regular cloth, regular casual, like sweatpants shorts, right? They're just regular shorts I think it's from Express. And I like them around the house. They're comfortable. They're a size small. And they fit me well. If anything, maybe slightly loose. A small. I was shocked when I looked at the label because I like the brand, I like the style, and I got a pair for Christmas. And I'm like, a small, like that's never going to fit. And it fit me perfectly. I haven't worn a small. I don't even remember when the last time I looked at a label of any article of clothing and it said small. It literally says S on it. And pants. Pants don't fit me because I have thick legs and a smaller waist, and pants don't, but now a small fits me. So people are getting fatter and fatter, and these are from Express. Like, I don't wear small. I haven't worn that since middle school. I don't own anything that says small. It's crazy. Okay, so it goes on. It goes on. I get tons of interesting questions and requests when it comes to food. I feel the most popular food people enjoy seeing me eat is Taco Bell, burgers, and fruit. One guy paid me to eat 13 pears and crack open a coconut to drink its milk while half naked on camera. There's some fucked up people in this world. I love creative and interesting ideas, so my job is never boring. Okay. Personally, I don't find it difficult to maintain my size for my followers. I wonder why. You're just eating. It's not hard. I'm naturally a bigger girl because you don't stop fucking eating. So as long as I continue to eat well, I easily stay fluffy and gain for my fans. I talked about this on the YouTube video. When you are not exercising, right? You don't have to maintain body fat. So your metabolism, your muscle mass is going to be very low. Her muscle mass is very low. So it's not going to take her much to give her excess that she needs to store. She's not going to, you might think, oh my God, she's huge. She probably has to eat 5,000 calories a day to gain weight. She eats 10,000. She doesn't need 10,000 to keep on gaining. She could probably keep on gaining with 2,500 because she's not exercising. She's not doing anything physical. So her body isn't under a lot of stress. It's not going to take her a lot to get extra caloric density and caloric value in, especially at her rate. Like, she's consuming over 10,000 calories a day. That's extremely, extremely unhealthy. Fluffy. Yeah, fuck that shit. Although Amanda is often harassed by trolls, she believes that her ardent fans and the praise they give her make up for the bullies. Amanda has vowed to feed and believes that she's championing body positivity. As long as you're being true to yourself, she says, nothing else matters. All right. So everyone, as long as you're being true to yourself, you can kill yourself on camera for money, apparently. So this is like a live snuff film. So, I didn't even know this word existed. I didn't know Feederism existed. I didn't know it was actually a thing, but apparently it's a thing. And that's really fucking gross. Really gross. Really gross. And then you have a bunch of comments, whatever. Okay. So this is her. Nothing wrong with her. I mean, she doesn't even from the top picture. All right. She looks like she's a big girl. Like, she's huge. All right. We have other ones like Tess Holiday and those people that use the guise of body positivity. They use the guise of body positivity, of fat acceptance. So if I'm against this image, if I'm against someone eating 10,000 calories a fucking day as a fetish for people, like, let's talk about this the way it actually is. This woman is pounding food, funneling food into her mouth like she's a fucking cow, right? Like a grain-fed cow ready for slaughter. She's funneling food into her mouth, and guys are fucking beating off watching her and paying her to feed herself. That's gross. That's really, really disturbing. She's force-feeding herself, and people are watching and probably jerking off. They're probably beating off to her doing this. And she's using this as a champion of body positivity. No, you're a champion of being unhealthy. You're a champion of mental disease. You are a champion of low self-esteem. You're a champion of everything that's wrong in this country. And I don't wish her harm. This is why I'm doing this video. And I'm not misguided to the point where I think that she's going to watch this and change her ways. No, when you start making money, it's very hard to stop. That's why when people start taking anabolic steroids, they start cheating and they get a lot of results and they get new sponsorships and they start making a lot of, they get new contracts, and they start winning and winning and winning, and everyone loves them and they get a lot of support. It's hard to pull that. It's hard to put that gorilla back in the cage. It's hard to pull that shit back. It's hard to dock that shit because it's already out to sea and you're already seeing results. Why stop, right? Keep this train going. So I understand why she keeps on doing it. When you're making money, it's like, oh shit, I can make money doing this. But it's completely fucked up. It's completely fucked up. It's so dangerous. It's absolutely so dangerous. Okay, well, let's see. Let's see some comments here. Rachel Hughes, I don't think this thread is very nice making fun of someone. She's doing her thing. It's her thing, not our business what she does. It's not healthy. I'm sure she knows that. What's your point, Rachel? I have to know. I know there's always going to be one. There's always one jabroni in the comments. So let's talk about this. All right. I'm not making fun of anyone. Maybe the people in the comments, I'm not making fun of everyone. And this is serious. The reason why we're talking about this is because it's serious. Yes, she's doing her thing, but she's also doing it publicly. And this is funneling into a bigger problem. And when you group this into something like body positivity, don't even for a second think that other women aren't looking at this like, wow, I could do this too. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can make money doing this on the side. I know someone's going to be people get inspired by other people. They realize, wow, I can eat and make money. It's not our business what she does. Why not? Why not? If it's on social media, if you're putting shit out there, if she's doing live shows where she's stuffing her face for money, it's absolutely our business. It's my business if I want to make it my business. First off, this is an opinion podcast. And second off, if you put it out there for people to see, it's everyone's fucking business and you're volunteering that. So anytime you post anything, yeah, you're up for critique. You're up for it. Don't post anything online. Don't go online, force feed yourself for money, for people jerking off and play with your belly and funnel food down your face if you don't want criticism. So she can ignore it or she can see it and she can do whatever the fuck she wants. I don't think this is going to stop her. So she can still do what she wants. It's a free country, but I'm absolutely free to talk about it if I feel like it. And it's important to understand that. It's important to understand that if you're afraid to talk about this shit, if you're afraid to use words, if you're afraid to use the word fat, that's why I use it freely, because if you're afraid to use words, that's extremely dangerous. Okay? No one can tell me. No one has the right to tell me that that's fucking beautiful. No one has a right. And if you're obese, I'm not saying that you're ugly. That's the problem. If I say I don't think she's beautiful, people assume that that means I think she's ugly. Okay? She actually, honestly, look at her. I mean, and this is, again, very subjective. So by calling someone fat, I'm not calling them ugly. By calling someone not beautiful, I'm not calling them ugly. You're assuming the opposite. You're internalizing it and you're using that as a mirror and reflecting it in some way. I don't know why. All right. This is something that we have to talk about because a lot of people are in this situation. You know how many people are eating themselves into an early grave that aren't doing this feedist shit? She's making money off it. A lot of people are doing this for free. That's the problem. That's the problem. And the problem is we can't talk about this without getting in trouble and hurting someone's feelings. So Rachel, I know you might be offended by this. Fine. I'm more than accepting if you don't want to listen to this podcast anymore. I just don't fucking care. If any of you don't want to listen to this shit, that's fine. Go listen and watch to something else. I'm okay with that. I understand. You can have your opinion. However, for this article and for society to try to put words into our mouths, ours, okay? To say that this is beautiful, this is body positivity, and I have to abide by that and call that beautiful, fuck you. I can call something beautiful if I want to. Sure, someone might get offended. Everyone gets offended by something. I'll make a video on YouTube. It'll get 200 thumbs up and there's 1 or 2 thumbs down. There's always 1 or 2 people that might look at the thumbnail and be like, fuck this guy and his, faggoty man bun, and hit the thumbs down. I get all those comments. I get all the slurs. I get all the stuff. I post videos. I post videos of me in my, quote, ballerina shoes, my Vibrams. You know how many man bun, faggot comments, dick sucking comments I get? You know how many comments like that I get? I get comments like that all the time. I just don't talk about it, and I don't give them the time of day, and I ignore them, or I respond with something sly and funny and slick, and I go way over their head because it's like a subtle insult to their lack of intelligence. Okay? I don't have problems with anyone. I have problems with stupid fucking shit that people do. And this is dangerous for people. It's one thing if you're very obese and you have a problem, let's fix it. Let's make moves to make this better. She's not making moves to make it better. She also has no obligation to listen to this podcast. She has no obligation to do anything. She has no obligation to change anything. That's why she's already doing it, which I also believe in. I also believe in her right to do this kind of stuff if she wants to. It's also her life. So I am fervently in support of her ability to do this. My problem is other people that are going to be inspired to do similar things and everything in between on the spectrum from what we would consider normal behavior to this and everything in between that is causing, like, you don't have to look like this and be a feedist or whatever the fuck it's called to get diabetes. You don't have to be force feeding yourself in front of thousands or millions of fans to get diabetes. Like, it's everything in between too. It's not just this extreme. This is just an example. Because if I just talk about diabetes, people are going to come in and be like, oh yeah, diabetes is a huge problem. Having diabetes is like background noise, especially when your kids are getting diabetes. It's just a normal thing. It's a standard, oh, heart disease, diabetes. Yeah. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, it's all the classic shit. Being unhealthy is normal. I told you at the beginning of this podcast, I got a new pair of shorts and they're fucking small. Nothing about my body and my muscles are small. I have never worn anything small when it comes to pants or shorts. I can't find jeans for shit. I mean, now it's getting more popular to make bodybuilder type jeans because you have a big ass and thick legs. Guess what? Your waist is just like flopping around because anyone that has a legs or glutes that size usually has a 40-inch waist too. So I have a really loose thing, a really loose waist, and then it's tight around my thighs. So now with social media and everything, now it's getting more popular to make more form-fitting jeans for people that lift weights because fitness is getting more popular. At the same time, a pair of shorts that should be a medium or a large at least are now a small because a small is a medium or a large because people keep on getting fucking bigger. And they're from Express. So Express can't make those a large because what are they going to make, 10XL? Like they have to raise the sizing. They have to change it so it can fit people. It's a problem. It's not just this picture. This is an extreme version. This gets your attention and wakes you up to the fucking problem. Calling someone a cow heading to slaughter isn't nice. I don't think it's nice either. I don't think going online and force feeding yourself with a funnel is anything different than a cow getting force fed to grow. It doesn't have to be nice. It's a fact. She's admitting it. She's the one that's saying that she's feeding herself with a fucking funnel. It's not nice or mean. It's a fact. I'm just reading off the article. It's fucked up. That's my opinion. Yeah. So it's, let me see. Teresa, remember how the world came down on skeleton models and magazines, airbrushing? They were glorifying an unhealthy body. This lady is doing the same thing, but on the other end of the scale. Well, here's the thing. It went all the way towards, anorexia and models were like skinny and rail thin. I don't like that either. That's another way to essentially kill yourself and starve yourself, right? Anorexia. I mean, it's no joke. People have that. Get skinny, get skinny, get skinny, get skinny. This is the other extreme. However, being super skinny and being super like anorexic and being unhealthy on that end, we still consider that a disease, don't we? We still consider that a problem. We still consider that something that we have to make sure that people get help and they get support from those around you. And we're very supportive here in this community. Those of you that are here and in Swolenormous X, we're very supportive. Being an anorexic or being afraid of food, and I understand if you lose a lot of weight or you're obese and you lose a lot of weight, you're afraid to eat healthy and even eat quantities of food that you probably should because you're afraid of putting weight back on. I get it. When it comes to this, being rail thin, being anorexic there's no body positivity with that. Where's the body positivity there? There's no skeleton acceptance movement. There's no rail thin. There's no anorexia acceptance movement, but we have fat acceptance. Why? What's the difference? Both are extremely unhealthy. Tell me what the fucking difference is. I can't make, what's the difference? You can be body positive about someone who's grossly obese. And I use grossly in the sense of excessively obese, but I can't talk about someone who's rail thin. Oh, because she has a problem. That's not sensitive. We have to stop being so sensitive. We have to look at the facts. She's extremely morbidly obese. She has a severe mental, she has a lot of shit going on upstairs. I'm not a professional clinical psychologist, so I can't speak on everything that's fucked up in her head. But I'm sympathetic. I hope she gets help. She needs help. I don't want her to die. But you tell me what's going to happen. Tell me what's going to happen. She's going to live a long, fruitful life. Are you for real? How delusional can you be if you think that? Let's see. I'm just looking through some of the comments, catching up. Well, look, it's getting skewed. It's getting twisted because by saying, okay, you shouldn't be morbidly obese, there's a difference between telling the truth and it bothering people, right? Like my famous video, The Truth Hurts. There's a difference between the truth bothering someone and just being rude to someone for no reason. So I'm not going to go up to you and be like, what's up, you fat piece of fucking shit? That's rude. That's you being an asshole. However, for both of us to have a discussion and be like, and for me to say, oh, no, you're not fat, and put my arm around you, like, no, you're great. You're a wonderful person. Those things don't have anything to do with one another. You being a wonderful person has nothing to do with your body weight. I have friends that are overweight. People in my family are overweight. I have people around me that are overweight. Okay. Doesn't mean that they're shitty people. Doesn't mean I hate them. Doesn't mean I poke fun at them. I'm not sitting there fucking heckling at them like, nice one, tons of fun. I'm not heckling people. It just seems that way because it's social media. How else am I going to get the fucking message out? Singing and dancing? I'm just telling you, it's the truth. You're not healthy. That's from a science standpoint, from a fitness standpoint, from a common sense standpoint. And for me to say, like I did in my YouTube video, that's not beautiful. That's my opinion. You can't quantify beauty. How do you quantify beauty? How do you measure beauty? It's subjective. I might look at a sunset and be like, that's a beautiful fucking sunset. You might look at that and be like, I think it's ugly. You might be a negative person, but it's also your opinion and it's subjective. So you can say that it's not beautiful. How many of you love dogs? Oh, that's a beautiful dog. How many of you hate dogs and love cats? Oh, it's a beautiful cat. How many of you love this animal? Oh, that's a beautiful animal. How many of you love snakes? Some people think snakes are gorgeous. Some people are like, oh my God, ew, gross. Some people love spiders. Most people, oh my God, spiders. So it's subjective. It's your personal taste. So to force language upon me, to put me in a corner where it's offensive and I can't say something is not beautiful, that's so fucking dangerous. It's dangerous. It's dangerous as a foundation to our society and freedom of speech. It's dangerous to tell me that I can't voice my opinion when it's my opinion. It doesn't matter if it hurts your feelings. It doesn't matter if it hurts your feelings. That's not where it starts. For example, like the extreme right, the Nazis and things like that. I don't agree with their beliefs, but they have the right to have them. The problem isn't the fact that people have beliefs like that. The problem is why those beliefs start from. Like what do we have to fix to eradicate beliefs like that? Where do we have to start? Where do we begin to change the way people feel about health? We have to do it from the ground up. You can't just knock someone's opinion and their thoughts. You have to fundamentally have a discussion and address the real problem. Like, it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. You can't have an argument about beauty. And that is the problem, is that these groups are hijacking words that are subjective. You cannot tell me what beautiful is. You can't tell me that everyone is beautiful. In my opinion, fuck no, they're not. Fuck no, not everyone is beautiful. Get the fuck out of here. I don't believe that. I don't believe everyone is beautiful. Do I believe everyone has a right to certain? Yes. Do I believe that everyone, should have the same rights? Yes. If you break the law, you lose some rights. If you break the law, you lose some of those rights, like freedom, or you can't do X, Y, and Z. You can't carry a weapon, right? You lose some response that you lose some privileges if you do bad shit. If you're a mean person, most people aren't going to spend time with you. Like, you shoot yourself in the foot if you're a dick. Okay. I wouldn't have grown my business to where it is if you didn't agree with what I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying the truth. And most people can't say that because they're going to alienate friends. I just don't give a fuck. I just don't give a shit. I have no one that I'm worried about offending. It's just the truth. None of you, not one of you, don't even fucking lie. Not one of you thinks everyone is beautiful. Everyone is beautiful. Really? I don't think so. There's some ugly fucking people in this world. Again, that's my opinion. I'm at right to have it. I can say whatever I want. Okay? You can't hijack subjective words. You can't hijack subjective words. And you can't force someone to agree. Fat acceptance? Not for me. Sorry. I don't have to accept it. I don't have to accept it. I don't. I don't have to accept shit. I don't agree with your movement. I think you should have self-esteem. I think you should work towards it, but self-esteem is interesting. Self-esteem is earned, right? Respect is earned. What do you think self-esteem is? It's self-respect. You have to earn that from other people. You have to earn self-respect from yourself. If you treat yourself like shit, how are you respecting yourself? You're killing yourself. You have to earn respect from yourself. And if you're fundamentally trashing your body, I mean, how do you expect that to happen? I mean, the problem is not the words that are being used. The problem are the words that are not being used. And any words that we are starting to get forced to use, and that we're getting forced to agree, or we be ostracized from society. You have a job and you say something that someone's going to get offended. You call someone fat at work, you're fired. Oh, fuck. I mean, okay, you're going to have rules and regulations. You shouldn't be a dick to your coworkers, but it's getting to the point where people aren't saying the truth. They're not voicing their opinions because they're afraid of getting in trouble. And that's some scary fucking shit. That's scary. That's scary. That's how really bad things happen in countries. Read your history. Read a fucking book. Wasn't too long ago. Still going on today in some places. So I voice my opinions because it's important to voice your opinions. Once we stop saying the things that are true, and once we stop voicing our opinions and having discussions about it, we're in some deep fucking shit. And we're not there yet, but it's going pretty fast. And it's going to spiral out of control if we don't talk about these things. So I understand a lot of you can't, which is why I do. I know a lot of you will look at that online, you'll see a tag and be like, oh, fuck, and you'll like my YouTube video and you'll thumbs up, but you can't have these discussions with people around you because you'll get shunned, or you have your own little community in your job and this, and I get it. Okay? That's why I did my thing, so I can do it my way and talk about these things. But these are issues that, albeit the one that we just talked about today, this extreme example, granted, extreme example, for real, it's an extreme example. This is just an extreme example of something that's happening everywhere. Like, if you just pull that back a couple notches, it's still really bad. What if you go halfway? What if you go from like normal, let's say all of us, right, where we agree, and then you go halfway to where she is? That's really, where you think diabetes and obesity and it's all in that spectrum. Like, that's just an extreme version, but I want to show you because it's not harmless. All right. It's not harmless to talk about fat acceptance. It's not harmless to be like #body positivity. if you're using like someone mentioned before, if you're using body positivity for burn victims, handicap, amputees, that's something else, veterans. But if you're using body positivity for this shit and using fat acceptance for this, that's dangerous because you're putting that extreme fucking psychotic shit in the same group as, oh, you know, I feel like you're at the Special Olympics and I'm proud of who I am because this is the card I was dealt. I was born without an arm and a leg. And, you know, I'm still, you know, you have motivational speakers. You have hugely successful, even athletes that were born without limbs. Like that's body positivity, not this fucking shit. This is making an excuse for having low self-esteem and eating your way to an early grave. Completely different. And it's dangerous because you're hijacking these fucking words that if you go against it, oh, you're against body positivity, you're a terrible person. No, I'm in favor of real body positivity. I'm against this fucking extreme bullshit. Do hashtag extremely unhealthy and loving it. That's your new hashtag. Hashtag extremely unhealthy and loving it. Boom. There you go. You can keep that hashtag. Stay in the corner with like your 3 friends. Hashtag eating my way to an early grave. That's the movement. Hashtag die early from overeating movement. Acceptance. Whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's something different. Okay? Stop taking these words that we want to use. And if I don't use those words to attribute to your irrational logic to use them yourself, to tag yourself, don't be offended when I say, fuck you. I'm not going to say that because that's not what you are. Whether it's my opinion or not, I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. I'm not going to call you beautiful. I'm not going to accept that shit. And don't agree. And just like you have every right to kill yourself early, I have every right to say that you're fat as fuck, you're killing yourself, you're being unhealthy, and you're representing a lot of people in the wrong way. So that's that. How do you see the video? Oh, I showed it on the screen. I showed it on the screen earlier. It wasn't a video. It was an article. Oh, the video that I'm referring to, the YouTube, it's on my YouTube channel. I have a video I did earlier. I posted it. I just wanted to talk about this topic today live. I wanted to go over this on the podcast because not everyone goes on YouTube and watches the video. That's right, Dale. People tend to blur the lines to fit their agendas, for sure. Mike Stuttle on Facebook. I was 340 pounds. About half of her life was miserable. Couldn't walk around the block. Could not mow the yard without having a heart attack. I will never be okay with people being like that when a much better life exists. And it takes... Look, when they say that famous phrase, right, it takes a village, it does. It takes a community. It takes a society to create a pathway where people like her and people that are ever in between have the ability to get healthier. But we don't have the proper systems in place. We have sick care, right? We don't have real health care. We have a sick care system. We'll put her on some, you know, what's a medical professional going to do there? Cut her stomach in half, give her gastric bypass, give her some fucking, some Lipitor, or not Lipitor, whatever the fucking fat, just medication. They'll cut their stomach. They'll do lipo. That's not the healthy way to do it. That's not the right way to do it. It's not the right way to do it. So we need to have a proper system and a proper way for people like her to get better. And she needs a support system. And I'm empathetic to that, right? That she might not have support system. Okay, why not? The person that's doing the interview with her, why aren't people like surrounding this individual and really offering guidance? I mean, this is not, look, I mean, you can't force someone to do something they don't want to. Again, free country, but she obviously does not have a lot of support in her little realm. And the support, the reinforcement, is an echo chamber. She's looking at a bunch of mirrors of people jerking off and being like, keep going, keep going. Here's $10, here's $10, here's $10. She's getting that negative reinforcement. It's not getting her better. Allison, real body positivity is about being positive about things you can't change, such as being able to love my body with its excess skin from the damage I did to myself, gaining to 500 pounds, and finally seeing I was the only one who could change it and get healthy, and I did. My skin is my battle scar, and that is being body positive. I take full responsibility and see that I changed So it's time to love the body I have gained for myself now. Promoting morbid obesity is just sickening. Thank you for sharing, Allison. That means a lot. And for anyone that's watching, I mean, you can see that, I mean, obviously you're in a very good place, Alice, you know, from where you were, and you had that success, but that's the difference. And you said that towards the end of your comment. I take you took full responsibility when you started making those changes. You started taking responsibility. And if you don't take responsibility and you pass it off, that's when you start making excuses and you start hashtagging body positivity and fat acceptance. You start making excuses that are completely unfounded and not grounded in like sanity. They're not grounded in actual health. Like, you know, I don't think she wants to die, but I wonder what she actually thinks. Like, you didn't talk about that. You're literally like, this is going to lead to death. How long can you go on like that? I don't think it said her age. It says she's 33 stones. Anyone from England, right? Is that what they use, stones? How much is a stone? 12 pounds or 20 pounds or something like that? What's 33 stones? Someone do the math right there. I don't feel like asking Alexa. Alexa, how many pounds are in a stone?
1 stone equals 14 pounds.
14 pounds. So, Alexa, what's 33 times 14?
33 multiplied by 14 equals 462.
So she's 462 pounds. Jesus Christ. She's 25. She's 25 years old. Oh, what I was going to say before, let me bring up this picture. And this is not, look, this is again subjective. When we talk about beauty and stuff like that, you know, but look at her, you know, in terms of like a face, like a beauty, like she's a good looking woman. I don't think she's an ugly, I mean, you know, that's very subjective, but look, it's just, she's just very morbidly obese. I don't think she's ugly, like in terms of like facial features. She looks very pretty. You know, she's a good looking woman. She's just like, I mean, look at her. It's just sad that she's doing that to herself. I don't think she's an ugly person. I think what she's doing is ugly. Like when I talk about attraction, when I talk about ugly and beauty, I'm not attracted to someone killing themselves. I'm not attracted to the personality and the mindset. Just the whole thing is disgusting. Not just like, ew, you're overweight, you're gross. The whole concept, like her entire existence is just gross to me because just what she does with her life and her mentality, it's all of it. I just don't like it. If her boyfriend was beating her, people wouldn't look away. Supporting this as, yeah, that's interesting. If her boyfriend was beating her, people would not look away. In other words, they would do something about it. Supporting this as a boyfriend is abuse, my opinion. I agree. It's like, it's reinforcing abuse. It's the same way where like, if you're a parent and you're or you're feeding your kids poorly and you know better, I mean, you know, whether or not you know better, but you're feeding them crap and they have like diabetes, it's a form of child abuse. The kids don't have a choice. They're just eating whatever you give them. If you're giving them junk food until they're sick and they're going to have like potentially irreversible diseases for the rest of their life, yeah, it's a form of child abuse. You know, when you talk about legal ramifications, I mean, that's out of my jurisdiction and knowledge. I mean, that gets really, who knows? Is it second degree? Is it passive? Is it active? You know, I didn't know. Oh, I didn't know that was unhealthy. It's like, I mean, we need better education. You can't go to a school and eat junk food and eat school food and expect kids to not get sicker. It doesn't matter if parents are feeding them well at home. I mean, it does. Actually, that's everything. But then they go to school and they're passing around food and lunches and the school cafeterias are fake fucking food. I don't understand how people are still getting away with this. Like if I ever have kids, I swear, homeschooling like a motherfucker. I don't understand what's going on and why people are still standing up and allowing this to happen. That's a whole other conversation. Yeah, this is no different than enabling drug abusers, for sure. Absolutely. I mean, I don't think you would have a website where it's like, okay, she's eating, right? She's just pounding food and she's force feeding herself. That's fine, right? It's legal. She's talking about it. What if she was saying that, oh, I have this website, this app, and I charge people $50 for this or $10 a month and I shoot up heroin and people watch me shoot up heroin every day? I think that would get shut down pretty quickly. There would be an uproar. It'd be on CNN. It'd be on Fox News. Woman shoots up heroin for money and people watch her do heroin or crystal meth. Like, well, how is this different? I mean, honestly, you know, you have marijuana being illegal and then high fructose corn syrup is still sold everywhere. I mean, we have like, as a society, our whole like concept of what constitutes as a drug and legal and illegal is so fucking backwards. It's ridiculous. So the fact that she can kill herself and just engorge on food, but everyone would be freaking out if someone was just doing drugs. You know, it'd be shut down, you'd be banned, you'd be arrested, it'd be a whole big thing, it'd be a sting operation. You couldn't do it for money streaming online unless you're on like the dark web or some shit. I mean, that's crazy, right? Think about it. Think about it, man. My kid is not allowed to eat school lunches. Fuck that. Good man, Aaron. All right, so enjoy today's episode. I hope you did. Share it, tag someone. I mean, if you feel like it's appropriate. Instagram, you're going to cut off in a second. Again, James Pratt won the contest for deleting people from Instagram profile. I'll be doing more giveaways and little contests, so just stay tuned. I'll talk more about that. So, James, I'll be DMing you. Congratulations, bro. Instagram, bye-bye. Don't forget to check out the YouTube video. The link is in my Instagram bio, so those that are watching live, make sure you click subscribe on YouTube. Bye-bye. Those of you that are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Periscope, all that stuff, thank you so much for joining me for episode 1008 of the Most Muscular Swolecast, Beardcast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Remember, this whole video and more in depth, I guess, or kind of a similar depth, you can go on YouTube and check it out, and a brand new video coming tomorrow. It's funny. You're going to like it. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you tomorrow for episode 1009 of the Sleeves. Peace, McGee's, deuce, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swole, out.